Alrighty. It's a weekend, which means a whole bunch of expansions today. Let's take a look. Does not look like a very strong kingdom, all things considered. Only draw here is Vault or Lackeys, which is not a whole lot of draw. Only village is the villagers you're gaining from buying Lackeys, so that will run out pretty quickly. Trashing. There's ducat, trash coppers. That's not really trashing. You're just replacing a copper with a ducat. The real trashing here is Ratcatcher. Plus buy. Ducat is plus buy, and Animal Fair eventually can be plus buy if the pile runs out. Uh, and not a lot going on. Landscapes, Obelisk, and Bonfire. So Bonfire is also crashing for coppers at least. What card is the Obelisk card? Ratcatcher. That's probably a pretty good target for that. Uh, Not that you necessarily want to have 10 Ratcatchers, but it's an inoffensive card for Obelisk to be on because you buy it for 2. It's pretty cheap for 2 victory points, and then it sets itself aside. You never have to call it again, so it can sit on your tavern mat and be worth points at the end of the game. Hmm. I'm a little bit suspicious that maybe there's some sort of rush with you just like pile out Ratcatcher, Lackey's Ducat, or maybe place one of those with estates or something. Perhaps a little bit paranoid because my last loss was to Bot doing some weird rush. Uh, so what if you just pile drive Ratcatcher? I mean, that's 20 points if you get all of them. Presumably your opponent takes at least some in the opening. It's a decent chunk of points. You don't necessarily want 10 ducats. Oh, it's not super fast, but it seems like a threat. Hmm. Oh, there is a lucky coin in the kingdom because you're starting with Fool or Win Fools in the kingdom. You start with a lucky coin in place of one of your starting coppers. And I think lucky coin tends to push you in the direction of big money pretty hard, just because a flood of silvers is really good for a deck that's just trying to buy one province per turn, and bad for most other decks. Uh, my suspicion is that you do a hefty amount of clicking these cheap cards early on. You take some early ducats so that you can pick up a bunch of Ratcatchers and Lackeys. Ratcatcher's worth a lot of points here. Lackeys is just generally a good card. And then potentially some 3 pile opens up. But I think more likely is you have a bunch of points and a decentish deck, and then at some point you start taking provinces. And then the deck that's trying to like empty the remaining ducats to cause a pile out is going to have fewer points than the deck that kind of started the same way, but then pivots to taking provinces. If the villagers start to run low, you can turn the lackeys into animal fairs for cheap, using animal fairs alternative buy condition, and that's a decent card in big money. I think just a deck with some silvers and animal fairs is going to hit province pretty consistently, plus the extra points from Ratcatcher. So I think I want to open with at least one ducat because I'll need the plus buy. Plus buy early seems important with a bunch of cheap stuff. Uh, Maybe just 2 ducats even? Is that unreasonable? I do have a silver in my deck as well, so I got 9 money. Depending on how the money is split, I could see hitting 4 and 2 buys twice, turn 3, turn 4. I think I just want a second ducat. The cards I really want are lackeys and Ratcatcher, but this ducat is how you get to those. I could bonfire 2 coppers here. I think I just want to buy the Ratcatcher. It will also help trash, but it's points. Second Ratcatcher and a lackeys. Even on the Ratcatchers so far. I'm not sure if this should just be all Ratcatchers early, all lackeys, some distribution. I'll leave that copper in hand and take a second ducat now. Maybe one more lackeys. Lackeys is surely the better card for the deck, and then the Ratcatcher's worth a bunch of points. I seem to be ahead on the Ratcatchers. Bot doesn't have any plus buy, right? I'm pretty sure all 3 of these ducats are mine, unless I'm mistaken. I could leave this here and buy like 1 Ratcatcher plus turn the lackeys into an animal fair, or I could draw 1. I think I like the sound of that. Okay, call a rat catcher here to trash a copper. Trashing copper is actually not that important in big money decks a lot of the time, I think. Killing the estates matters. Killing the coppers kind of depends. So I could see a case for just keeping the copper there. This hand looks like Province plus Animal Fair. I could left that copper in hand. I'm gonna play it. Eight money and two buys. I think it's worth spending coppers to get 2 victory points. So probably Province and another rat catcher. Very straightforward deck here. Provincing as well. And I think I'll take the last two rat catchers. Animal Fairs now come up with a spy to the extent that that matters. Still have plenty of villagers left. Can the bot hit double province? I don't think so. It has no Animal Fairs, it only has two coffers and no villagers. It doesn't seem like a threat. Uh, Double province would be 35 points. I'm just going to buy an estate, I think. If somehow miraculously the bot hits double province off of this, it would be a tie, which for the purposes of the dailies is registered as a win. I don't expect that to happen. Yeah, I think this is the best case. I mean, I was ahead enough in points that it probably wouldn't have mattered. But the best case for not burning a bunch of coffers and taking a duchy there is if the bot like buys a province. I just have a total dud hand. Here I'm pretty much guaranteed to hit 5 coffers. Uh, yeah. I'm surprised that this one felt as easy as it did. This felt like a kingdom where Harbot would do pretty well. Harbot likes the clerks a lot. I don't think the clerks were all that important here. The attack is it's something. It slows your opponent's deck down a bit, but I don't know. It's competing with stuff that costs 2, and the 2 cost cards just look better. I think the bot was slow to take plus buy. It didn't have any ducats for a while, if I'm not mistaken. And whenever it got this ducat, I think it was pretty late. I think you take plus buy much earlier than usual just because all the 2s look so good, and then you can spam those. I'm not sure about the distribution of rat catchers versus lackeys. Obviously, the rat catchers are a ton of points. The lackeys just make the deck work so well. I still had a bunch of villagers left. I could have easily seen taking even more lackeys, convert them into more animal fairs, and probably get provinces faster that way. I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely like some ducats into some combination of rat catchers and lackeys.